Good morning, dear cadets. So as you know, I have already discussed the group number 17. So halogen is completely completed. Now the last group of p block element is 18th group. Okay, so there are various name of this group. Will justify those names also, but first, what are the members of these groups? Means this group: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. These are the members of 18th group. Okay, now try to understand atomic number 2, 10, 18, 36, 54, 86. Okay, the last one is completely radioactive. Okay, now just see, so far we were writing the electronic configuration of other element with the help of noble gases. Okay, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Now this is the right time to write their electronic configuration. Okay, so as far as their electronic configuration is concerned, just see, helium means first s2. Okay, first s2. Neon first s2, 2s2, 2p6. For writing their electronic configuration, you just make the Bohr-Bury scheme of electron distribution. Okay, so then you will be having easy to write their electronic configuration. Argon is 18, first s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Krypton 36, first s2, up to here 3p6, no problem, and just write that much. This is the addition, 3d10, 4s2, 4p6. Similarly, for xenon 54, up to here 4s2, 4p6. The new addition is 5d10, 6s2, 6p6. Okay. Now for this one, radon 86. Up to here it is okay. Now this is the addition, 4d10, 4f14 and 5s2, 5p6. That is the addition. So just see, except helium, what is there? All are having their last electron in p block. That is why they are known as p block element. Now helium is exceptional, even though it has got last electron in s block, s orbital. Nevertheless, it has included in the 18th group. Okay, so the justification is very simple. Just see, noble gases, chemically they are inert, and helium is also chemically inert. That is why it has been kept with the 18th group. Number one thing, all are gases, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, all are found in the gaseous state. Helium is also gaseous state, found in the gaseous state. That is why it has been kept with the 18th group. So because of these two reasons, helium has been kept with the 18th group, even though its last electron enters in the s block or s orbital. So according to rule, it should have been placed with the s block element, but its properties are not matching with the s block element. That is why it has not been kept there. It has been placed with the 18th group because its properties matches with the 18th group element. Okay, so this is all about their electronic configuration. Once again I am telling you, if you are finding difficulty to write down their electronic configuration, first make the Bohr-Bury scheme of electron distribution in different orbitals and cells. Accordingly you can fill the electron, but you should remember how to write the electronic configuration. Okay, now next aspect is discovery of noble gases. So Rayleigh and Ramsay, 1894, first they discovered the argon. So which was the first discovered noble gas? Argon was the first discovered noble gas. Lockyer in 1868, he predicted the presence of helium in the spectrum of solar light. Okay, so Lockyer, he predicted the presence of helium in the solar spectrum. Okay, and we know that hydrogen and helium is found in the core of sun, and because of their interconversion, now sun is burning throughout days, years, months. Okay, and hoping that it will continuously burn and will provide us light. Okay, now next 3 point, 1, 2, 3 is related with the isolation of noble gases. Isolation means extraction. So just see, helium is commercially prepared or obtained from natural gas. Natural gas means compressed natural gas, CNG. In natural gas, what is there? 95% what is there? Methane is there. 5% hydrogen is there. Along with the hydrogen, some amount of helium is also found. So helium is basically, as far as commercial production is concerned, it is obtained from CNG or natural gas, compressed natural gas. Okay. Now fractional distillation of liquefied air. Air is there or not? So first air should be liquefied, and whatever components are there in liquefied air, they can be separated by the process of, or by the method of fractional distillation. So through fractional distillation, neon, argon, krypton and xenon can be obtained. Okay. So try to understand. Don't think that in air these gases are there. Along with these gases, hydrogen is there, nitrogen is there, oxygen is there, other gases are there. Okay. So what is the basic point of separation of different components as far as fractional distillation is concerned? Difference in the boiling point. Those who are having less boiling point, they will be separated first. Okay. And you know the fractional distillation method, so there is no need to tell this one. Radon is obtained from decay product of radium, radium. Now I wrote here alpha decay, 88 radium 226. Alpha decay means one helium atom you have to remove. So when one helium atom is removed from radium, then what is there? 2 subtraction from its atomic number, 4 subtraction from its mass number. Okay. So 4 you subtract from 226, so it will be 222, and 2 from atomic number, so 86. So now here radon you have got. Okay. This is there. There is one more important aspect of this one is helium has the lowest boiling point of all known substance. So helium has got the lowest boiling point, always remember, from all the known elements. So these are the introductory points and isolation. Now discovery of noble gases along with their electronic configuration. Okay. So I hope that you will understand the basic point of 18th group. Now there are so many names of 18th group, like noble gases, rare gases, inert gases, zero group gases. Okay. So justification of their name. Okay. Why they are known as different name or by different names. Okay. So now justification of different names of 18th group. As you know, 18th group is known as inert gas, noble gas, rare gas, zero group gas. So why they are known as these by these different names? So inert gas, since chemically they are less reactive, that is why they are known as inert gas. Noble gas, why they are known as noble gas? At normal condition they are non-reactive, but at a specific condition they show reactivity less. They show, here you can write, less reactivity. That is why they are known as noble gases. Okay. Rare gases. Rare means what? Thinly presence in the nature. So they are found less than 1% by volume in air. That is why they are known as rare gases. Their presence in the air is rare. Okay. Next one is zero group gases. Why they are known as zero group gases? Because their valency is zero. Their outer electronic configuration is completely completed. That is why they do neither take electron nor give electron. That is why their valency is zero. That is why they are known as zero group gases. There is one more thing. I wrote this side, justification of their position in the periodic table. Okay. Justification of their position in the periodic table. So as you know, 18th group elements are kept in the 18th group only. Okay. So the question arises here, why do they place in 18th group? Are you getting my point or not? Zero group gases are inert gases. They have been placed in 18th group. So the question arises here, why do they place in group number 18th only? Okay, that is the basic question. So just try to understand. As far as the properties of any group is concerned, you are explaining their property on the basis of ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, electropositive character, electronegative character. These are the properties by which you are explaining the characteristics of any particular group or any particular elements belongs to that particular group. Okay, so just see, here I wrote 17 group, here 18 group, here first group. Okay, now try to understand. Before this one 17 group means before 18 group, 17 group is there, and what are the name of elements? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. As far as their group properties are concerned, 17 group is the element which is highly, means highest electronegative character. They are the strongest non-metal, correct or not? What about first group? First group elements, they are most metallic in character, most electropositive, less electronegative. And here what is there? Most electronegative, most non-metallic, most most non-metallic, most negative, most negative elements. Here most electropositive element, here most negative elements, electronegative elements. So just try to understand. Suppose you are 6 or 7 hour you are in the AC, okay, and suddenly somebody has thrown you in broad sunlight, then what is there? There are chances of getting the sickness or not, because suddenly from the cool environment to hot environment you have been thrown. So similarly, as far as periodic table is concerned, what is the meaning of periodic table? Periodic table is the table which shows gradual change in the properties of element. Gradual change, okay, means gradual change means slow change. Okay, just see, first and second group is most electropositive, then less than them is D block elements, and D block elements are more electropositive than P block elements. So gradual change. So here just try to understand, if suddenly from most electronegative to most electropositive we are going, so this is not a justification of the periodic table, because periodic table shows the gradual change. That is why between first group and 17 group, or you can say between most electronegative to most electropositive, we have to place one group where electropositive and electronegative character is almost 0. That is why 18 group is placed here. You can take any property. Suppose I am taking electron affinity. So almost the electron affinity of first group is 0, but the electron affinity of 17 group, electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity of 17 group is very highest. So just see, from very highest to very less if you are going, so this is not a justification of periodic table, because periodic table says that elements should be placed in the periodic table in such a way which shows the gradual change in their properties. That is why, to maintain the uniformity of the periodic table and characteristics of the periodic table, or you can say the basic character of periodic table, 18th group has, means these gases have been placed in the 18th group. Means we require one such group where all the properties become almost 0. And just see, suppose this is 0. So after 0 what is there? Positive character is there or not? +1, +2, +3. And here what is there? -1, -2, -3. Like that it is there or not? So just see, 18th group is 0 group only. Why? All properties should become almost 0. And from 0, if you are going right hand side, then first group, second group, third group will start. And if you are going left, then what should be there? 17, 16, 15, these group will start. Okay, so this is the reason, that is why zero group gases have been placed in 18th group. So this is the justification of their position in the periodic table. Now trends in physical properties. So dear cadets, now trends in physical properties. Okay, so just like other groups we have studied the trends in physical property, here also we will study the trends in physical property. The first one is the existence. So just try to understand, you might have seen helium, neon, argon, krypton, they are written He, Ne, Ar, yes, now Rn, Xe, Kr. You might not have seen ever that they are being written as He2, Ne2, Ar2, okay, Xe2, means they are monoatomic. What is there? They are monoatomic, colorless, odorless and tasteless gas. Okay, they are colorless, odorless and tasteless gases. The most important thing is monoatomic. There one atom is only sufficient. Okay, there is no need to combine with other atom, just like hydrogen is combining with one more atom and forming H2. Okay, then what is there? O is also combining with other atom and forming O2 and 2, correct, O3, correct. These are the molecules. Here question is there, why are they known as monoatomic molecules? Monoatomic molecules. So just try to understand, what is the rationale behind the formation of molecules? An element form molecules so that its outer electronic configuration can be completed. Means they want to have 2 electron or 8 electron in their outermost cell, so that their electronic configuration gets completely completed. Okay, so if they are having 2 electron, that is known as duplet. If they are having 8 electron, that is known as octet. Okay, this is the rationale behind the chemical combination of any element. Okay, try to understand here, there one atom, novel gases, one atom is only having the either 2 electron or 8 electron. 2 electron in case of helium and the rest of the cases 8 electron. So there one atom is only equivalent to molecules because their octet or duplet is completed. So why do they go and react with other atom to form the He2 or Ne2? So there one atom is only considered to be the molecules. It is equivalent to the molecules because elements are combining into molecules so that their duplet or octet is completed. So their one atom itself is equivalent to molecules, that is why they are known as monoatomic molecules. Answer is written here. Molecules are formed to have 8 electron or 2 electron in their outermost cell. In case of novel gases, their one atom is having either complete duplet, helium, or octet, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. Hence their one atom is only considered to be molecules. Therefore they are known as, here I wrote, they are known as monoatomic molecules. So don't get confused. Now blackboard space problem is there. So last line is, that is why they are known as monoatomic molecules. Okay, so over, that question is also over. Now the second property is atomic size. Atomic size. So down the group, atomic size increases. Just see, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. Xenon is having the largest size, helium is having the smallest size. Okay, and as you know, with the increase of atomic size, the magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction increases. Okay, so in case of xenon, the magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction will be more, and this is the only reason, that is why the melting and boiling point of xenon is the highest. Due to its greater size, the surface area is more, so area of contact will be more, and xenon atom will have little bit attraction. Because of that, their melting and boiling point is more among all other element of 0 group or 18th group. Okay, so now if you see the atomic size, the van der Waals radii of xenon will be the highest and van der Waals radii of helium will be the least. Another one is the ionization enthalpy. What is the next one? Ionization enthalpy. So just try to understand. Ionization enthalpy is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from their outermost shell. Okay, if electronic configuration is completely completed, then what would be there? Now you have to give more amount of energy to remove electron from their outermost shell. So now in 18th group case, all are having completely completed electronic configuration. Then you have to give more amount of energy to remove the electron from their outermost shell. That is why their ionization enthalpy is very high. It is very high due to complete electronic configuration. Down the group, as the atomic size increases, ionization enthalpy decreases. So xenon will have the least ionization enthalpy. Now you can say, sir, radon is the last member. Actually radon is the radioactive, that is why we are not considering everywhere. Xenon we are considering as the last element. Okay, this is the reason. So xenon has the least ionization enthalpy. The fourth one is electron gain enthalpy. What is the meaning of electron gain enthalpy? The amount of energy released when an extra electron is added to the outermost shell of an isolated gaseous atom. Here what is there? An atom can only gain electron when its outer electronic configuration is incomplete. Here what is there? Their outer electronic configuration is completely completed. So they do not require extra electron, isn't it or not? So their electron gain enthalpy is 0. Their electron gain enthalpy is 0. They will not gain electron. So electron gain enthalpy is almost 0 due to filled electronic configuration. Here I wrote due to filled electronic configuration. Okay, so these are the trends in physical properties. Some of the trends, still some trends are there. Since our blackboard is completely filled, that is why I will rub this one and will write further. Okay, now try to understand whatever clarity is there on the blackboard. Please manage with this one. You put the pause button time and again and write. You can understand my problem also. Okay, I will try hard to make the blackboard clean, but sometime it may not be there like here. But I am telling due to filled electronic configuration. So please just bear some trouble with me. Okay, thank you. So dear cadets, we are still in the physical trends of physical property of 18th group. So the next one in the row is melting point and boiling point. Okay, so already I wrote helium and told also helium is the lowest boiling substance among all known substances. What is the boiling point of helium? 4.2 Kelvin. Okay, what is the reason? Just see, these are the noble gases, 18th group gases. Here what is there? There is a one attractive force which is found among their atoms, that is the weak van der Waals force of attraction. Weak van der Waals force of attraction. And you know van der Waals force of attraction depends upon the size. So greater the size, greater will be the surface area, greater will be the area of contact. Hence greater will be the magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction. And if magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction is more, naturally their melting point and boiling point will be more. In case of helium, what is there? Their atomic size is the smallest, that is the first member of 18th group. So size is small, hence what is there? The magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction will also be less only. Due to small size, magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction is less. Hence between helium atom, weak force of attraction is there. Hence weak force of attraction is there. So just see, size is small. So among the atoms of helium, weak force of attraction would be there, which can be overcome by giving means small amount of temperature. That is why the boiling point of helium is less. Next question is, helium has xenon has highest melting point and boiling point. Okay, so already answer is known to you. Now just see, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, down the group atomic size increases. So xenon is having the highest size. So if xenon is having the largest size, then what would be there? If xenon size is largest, then what is there? Area of contact will also be more. If area of contact is more, it means attractive force, magnitude of attractive force among the xenon atom will be more. Then what is there? to break that one you have to give more amount of heat energy. Okay, that is why xenon melting point and boiling point is more. Answer is written. Just see, because its atomic size is largest, hence its surface area is also highest, hence magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction is very high. Attractive force between xenon atoms. Okay, that is why their melting point and boiling point is highest. This question is given in the NCERT book also. Among 18th group elements, xenon has got the highest melting and boiling point due to large surface area, due to large atomic size. Okay, next one is the liquefaction. You know the meaning of liquefaction. What type of gases are easily liquefying, whose critical temperature is very high? Last year I taught you, and when I was teaching you the derivation of van der Waals equation, then we have got the two constant, van der Waals constant A and van der Waals constant B. Van der Waals constant B is the co-volume. Okay, co-volume, effective area covered by the atom. And what was the van der Waals constant A? Van der Waals constant A depends upon the magnitude of attractive force. If A value is more, it means magnitude of attractive force is more, then liquefaction of gases will be more. Try to understand. There are two factors which affect the liquefaction of gas. The number one is the critical temperature. Critical temperature should be high, then only gas will be liquefied easily. Second one is the magnitude of attractive force among their atoms should be more. Okay, now try to understand here. Liquefaction of noble gases are not easy process. It is a difficult process. Number one reason, because its critical temperature is low. Its critical means their, not its, their critical temperature is low. Second one thing is their magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction A, that value is also very less. Why it is less? You know that all noble gases except xenon, all are having weak magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction. So because of these two reasons, what is there? Their liquefaction is difficult. Remember, critical temperature depends upon magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction. Those who have got more critical temperature, their magnitude of attractive force will be more. That is why their critical temperature is more. Always remember, or you can say vice versa. Means magnitude of attractive force depends upon critical temperature, and critical temperature depends upon magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction. Okay, greater the critical temperature, it means what is there? Magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction is more. If magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction is less, critical temperature will also be less. And more critical temperature, easy liquefaction. Less critical temperature, difficult liquefaction. More attractive magnitude of attractive force or van der Waals attractive force, easy will be the liquefaction. Less magnitude of van der Waals force of attraction, difficult will be the liquefaction. So both point I wrote here. Okay, this is the reason. Next one is the solubility. So just see solubility. They are, means noble gases, they are slightly soluble in water due to induced dipole interaction. Induced dipole interaction. Okay, this is one kind of van der Waals force of attraction only. And in 11th class I taught you. What is the meaning of induced dipole interaction? Now listen here. This is symmetrical electron cloud of noble gases. So what is the meaning of symmetrical electron cloud? Neither side positive nor side negative is there. Neither positive nor negative charge is there in either side of noble gases. Okay, symmetrical electron cloud, spherical electron cloud. And now you have dipped this gas, you brought this gas in contact of water, and you know water is a polar molecules or not? Okay, polar molecules. So just see, delta is slightly positive, slightly negative, and O is slightly negative. This side also I wrote the water, but difference is there. This side what is there? Hydrogen is first, oxygen is later. Here oxygen is first, hydrogen is later. So this is polar water molecules, This is also polar water molecules. Okay. Earlier it was symmetrical. The moment it will come into contact of water, some sorts of polarity, here also these water molecules will induced. Okay, they will encourage the novel gas that you also acquire polarity according to my character or according to me. Okay, so now this electron cloud will not be now symmetrical, it will be now like that. Okay, like that. Just see, earlier one, this is the original one. Okay, now what is there? Now they will acquire this shape when they will come into contact of water. So this end is near to the positive end of water, so this will be slightly negative. Now this end is near to the negative end of water, that is the oxygen, so this will be slightly positive. Means water molecules has induced the polarity in the novel gas. Now this electron cloud, the earlier one was symmetrical, now this is the distorted electron cloud. Distorted electron cloud. Distorted electron cloud. Okay, so when electron cloud is distorted, then what is there? Slightly they will be soluble in the water. If they are not soluble, their electron cloud will remains unaffected from the water. If it is getting soluble, it means their electron cloud must be disturbed. Now it has disturbed. This is the reason, that is why they are slightly soluble in the water, and they are slightly soluble because of induced dipole interaction. This is the water is the dipolar molecules. If any molecules come into contact of dipolar molecules, so some sorts of polarity induced in the non-polar molecules, and such kind of interaction is known as induced dipole interaction. Okay, so this is the reason, that is why they are slightly soluble in the water. In this way, physical trends in the novel gases is completely completed. Now chemical properties. So now dear cadets, chemical properties. Okay, so just try to understand, chemically they are considered to be inert. So why are noble gases considered to be inert? Noble gases are considered to be inert due to three reasons. Just see, the chemical reactivity of any element is judged on the basis of three things. Number one, on the basis of their electronic configuration, on the basis of their ionization enthalpy, and on the basis of their electron gain enthalpy. If electronic configuration is not filled, so they will try hard to complete their octet, and for the completion of octet they have to react with somebody else. Okay, here what is there? Noble gases, they have got the complete octet, completely filled electronic configuration. EC means electronic configuration, that is why they will not react with anyone. Second one is their ionization enthalpy is very high. Okay, so if ionization enthalpy is very high, then what is there? Energy is not available to remove their electron from their outermost cell, that is why they are less reactive. Similarly, their electron gain enthalpy is zero. Electron gain enthalpy is zero, means they don't have tendency to gain electron. So ionization enthalpy tells that they are not ready to give electron. Zero electron gain enthalpy tells that they are not ready to gain electron. And the third one thing, their electronic configuration is already completely filled. So what is there? These three are indicating that noble gases are inert. Okay. And now try to understand. Here I wrote one important information. First noble gas compound was this one, xenon positive PTF6, xenon hexafluoroplatinate 6. This is the oxidation state of platinum 6. This is orange yellow compound. Orange yellow compound. And now just see the till 1962. It was considered that noble gases are not forming the chemical compound. They are, till 1962, it was considered that noble gases are inert. Okay, what has happened? In year 1962, there was one scientist, Anne Bartlett. Okay, remember their name, Neil Bartlett. Okay, he was doing one experiment. He was reacting PTF6 with oxygen. PTF6 with the oxygen. Okay, so after chemical combination, he got this compound O2 positive. Now PTF6. What was this? Is the orange red compound. Orange red compound. What was the name of this one? Dioxygenyl hexafluoroplatinate 6 compound he got. Okay, who? Neil Bartlett. He was doing one experiment. During that experiment, he treated hexafluoroplatinate. This is platinum hexafluoride or hexafluoroplatinate. Platinum hexafluoride was treated with oxygen. Then he got this compound. Then one idea came in his mind. What was that idea? He thought, oxygen ionization enthalpy is 1170 kilojoule mole inverse. Okay, and xenon ionization enthalpy is 1176. Let me clarify. Yes, 1176 kilojoule mole inverse. This is ionization enthalpy. What is this one? Ionization enthalpy. Okay, oxygen 1170 kilojoule mole inverse. This is 1176 kilojoule mole inverse. That was the ionization enthalpy of oxygen and xenon. He thought if 1170 kilojoule mole inverse ionization enthalpy of oxygen can react with PTF6, so xenon can also react because very less difference is there. What is this one? This is 76, this is 70. So same experiment he repeated with xenon. How? Just see. PTF6 reaction with xenon and he got xenon positive. Now PTF6 bracket close. Okay, what was the name of this one? Same name which I wrote here, xenon hexafluoroplatinate 6. What color compound? Orange yellow compound he got. Okay, so this was the first noble gas compound. Okay, first synthesized noble gas compound. So name also I wrote, xenon hexafluoroplatinate 6, orange yellow color compound. So since then till 1962 it was considered that they are inert, but after the experiment of Neil Bartlett and synthesis of this compound Xe positive PTF6, it was realized that noble gas can also form the compound. So many experiment was conducted, and now what was there? There are so many compounds of noble gases are formed, especially xenon. So out of all noble gases, xenon is very prone to form the chemical compound. Now in the next video we'll discuss the different kinds of compounds of xenon. But always you remember, now in NCERT one question is also there. What led Neil Bartlett to synthesize the first compound of noble gases? So this ionization enthalpy condition led him to form or synthesize the first noble gas compound. What he thought, if oxygen having ionization enthalpy 1170 kilojoule mole inverse, if it can react with PtF6, xenon that is also having comparable ionization enthalpy, that is 1176, that can also react with PtF6. So remember this reaction also, okay. Now this compound also, Xe positive PtF6. In this way the duration of video is completely completed. One more thing is there, whenever xenon is forming compound, it will gain one electron, or gaining is very difficult, it will lose one electron only. So just see, you can write, well, charge on xenon is single positive, Xe single positive, always here write, always lose one electron. This is, you can write like that, one electron. In all chemical processes, almost xenon will lose one electron. Some places it is losing more also, but generally it is losing, always lose one electron, okay. But this is not a hard and fast criterion, because there are the compound where xenon is 6 also, plus 6. So you right now there is no need to write this one, as and when it will require I will tell you. But generally here xenon is losing one electron in that compound. Xenon, just see, Xe positive means it has lost one electron, that has been gained by the PtF6. Okay, so thank you.